Hey everybody, Barry here again. This is the day that I put the whole truck together just to get a look. I'm gonna do like several hours work just to see what this thing looks like. And I'm super excited. I'm gonna put it all together and then I'll take it all apart so that I can actually do the work. But I mean, what's stopping me from just putting pieces on it and then putting the wiring harness in after and putting my brake lines on after, because you gotta kind of have these things in place in order to do those things. Fuel lines, brake lines, all that stuff. I'm probably talking myself into just keeping it like it is after, but whatever. Let's go put the cab on. Well, this actually worked half decent. Pallet is not doing a whole lot. Now I guess it's as simple as lift the cab up with the lift and hope it doesn't fall off. Yeah, those rockers are not so hot looking. Those rockers are definitely not so hot looking. Cab corners need to be done, of course. And that might have been inflicted with the forklift. It's not always easy to drive this thing, especially in big snowbanks. Well, moment of truth. If it falls off, pretty much done for. Wow. I can't believe it's actually working. Let's put the frame in under it. I got a feeling this is going to be a pain because the two front wheels aren't actually connected by the steering, so it's probably just going to do this and then skid everywhere, but I'll do the best I can. Well, I think it's time. I think it is time. I'm not sure why, but this little cap here is on this side and back there, but not on those two cab mounts, so I don't really get it. Good time to look at the floor. Floor looks pretty good. A little bit crunchy, but not too serious. See something right here. I don't see that. I'm gonna lay some cab mounts down on this frame here, and it looks half centered. I'm not quite sure if it's perfect or not, but we'll have a look in a second. I've got a bunch of cab mounts that I took off all other vehicles. I think that might be a front rad support. I got some that are pretty good. Another rad support there. I'll use that after. This one's not amazing, but not too bad. But I'm not spending like $300 on cab mounts, so I have been looking at polyurethane ones, but that's not a today thing. So I just need 4 half decent cab mounts. All right, so I actually have a bit of a selection to pick from. I've picked out 1, 2, 3 that are like really not bad at all. This one almost seems like it might match the rest of those 4. Rubber's a little bit chewed up. But like I got some pretty rough looking ones there. Like that's not great. That's cooked. So I think I'll go with these 4. And really, there's not much more to installing it than installed. So we can see with the engine right here, the cab or the frame is off a little bit. So my frame got to go this way just a touch. But it's actually not too bad. I'm just going to grab the jack up the frame and move it over. Yeah, there we are. That looks much better. Just about right there. Just about. I actually like that those little cups are on the frame. It helps sort of locate it. Not touching the engine. Everything there looks like it's good. I think we got a cab on a frame. Wow. Now I know that I need to lower the back. Perfect. Oh yeah, man. We got a truck. Oh boy. This is getting exciting. My heart is like fluttering. Wow. One thing that's pretty crazy looking is look how little of a gap I got between the tire here and the fender, or I'll say where the inner fender goes. That's wild. The truck is still fairly high, which is not bad at all. I'm happy with that. I can go down a bit there if I wanted to. I know it's only a 2-inch drop. I'm not looking for static slammed or anything here, but this is good. I can work with this. Oh, I can definitely work with that. You can see that the cab, of course, is sitting, or the whole frame is sitting like this. That's because I didn't put any adjustment on the torsion bars. I didn't do it evenly. I have no idea what the rear leaf springs are like. If one side is messed up or not, I don't know. But again, I just kind of gunned the bolts up into the torsion bars haphazardly. I didn't do it with any intention of making it level, stuff like that. So I'll do all that as I go. But God, look at that thing. Oh, it is so cool. Very, very nice. Why don't we put the bed on it next? We got to see what this looks like as a truck. I'm 100% low on the back. All right, let's get in. We got to go for a drive. Oh yeah, here we are. Brum, 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 brum. Yeah, I'm definitely going to go get the bed so we can have a look at it. Oh, I hope I don't get stuck. There's the old baby. The bed is not great, but it'll have to do. I only have one. We got a bit of a gap there. It's just got to go ahead a little bit. Just give it a little nudge. Oh, got a bed on it. Something's a little bit wonky right here. It's like the bed is much lower than the cab, if you can see that. You can definitely see that. Look at the body line right here and there. I'm wondering if that's because of my rear cab mounts, and I really think it is. I really do. I had to weld in the rear cab mounts to the frame. It's not a big deal. I can cut it off and move them down. But this is something that I couldn't see until I got it done. If you see that, it's not like the front is down, the rear is way high. So I'll make some measurements there, pull the cab off, and then what I'll do is bolt the front of the cab to the front cab mounts, and then cut it off. Well, I'll cut it off the frame first, and then bolt the rear cab mount brackets to the cab, and lower the cab, lower the cab, lower the cab until it's in the right spot, and then weld them onto the frame like that. It's something that I probably should have done first. It's something that I probably should have done before welding it to the frame, but I thought I had them in the right location. It was really, really hard to tell. But hey, you're running into these types of things, and I'm not gonna hide it from anybody, so here it is. I messed up. We can still, however, have a look at the front clip. I'll probably jack the front of the cab up a little bit and wiggle the pan a little bit just to get it level enough to get a picture of this thing and to get an actual good look at it, because I don't like the way it looks right now. Let's continue on as if nothing happened. Also, if anybody knows for a set of rust-free Escalade fenders, I'd appreciate a heads up, because these aren't that great. Not that great at all. I'll do them up the best I can. They look just fine on the outside, but not so much in under. This truck is a major work in progress, and it's not going to be all done in one day. Well, I put the legs in under the front cab mounts and sort of jacked it up a little bit, and it's half level, but that means now that the whole cab is like 2 inches higher, so my front fender gap is not going to be correct. But hey, we're only here for a look, and I'm learning as I go. Somebody just commented on a short named Vincent who said, if you're going to use the Cadillac front bumper, you're going to have to change the front frame mounts. And I went, huh? What does that have to do with anything? It has a lot to do with a lot. This is where the Silverado front bumper bolts on. Take note of this piece right here. Let's go outside and look at the Escalade. Let's go on a little field trip outside in the Silverado graveyard. Well, would you look at that? Looks like I got a little more fabrication to do. I'll probably come out with the Sawzall, just cut off the front of the frame, take this in with me. That way I can bring it in and do a nice job cutting it off and then weld it to the front of my other frame. These are things that you learn as you go, or somebody points out to you a week after you've painted the frame. I got a half a gallon left, I'll be fine. Well, that's enough negativity for 1 minute or so. In a couple minutes time, I'm sure there'll be more. Front clip. Front clip. I have the fenders brought up. I'm just gonna kind of snaggle them on there the best I can, use these 2 top bolts here. If I can get the doors open far enough, I might run 2 bolts into it. Get an idea if I'm gonna like this Cadillac front clip at all. A lot of people hate it. A lot of people really, really don't like it. I gotta find out why. Because from what I've seen on pictures, it looks really good. So I guess we'll find out in the next few minutes. I've dropped the ramp legs just to have a look at it to see where the fender gap is going to be, and you can really see how not good that body line is right now. It's going to be so weird driving down the road with a completely white front, green roof, green back of the cab, bluish, blackish bed, white back bumper. Is so much cool stuff going on right there. Passenger side fender. Let's bolt it up. But I'm a visual person. I gotta see something. I don't have the creativity to just visualize it in my head. I can't look at this and go, okay, it's gonna look awesome because I can see it in my mind. I can't. It's weird, I know. I envy people who can. Every time I put my hands in under this, I'm actually taking rust off. It's wild. Now let's see. Let's see if this is enough. Well, 2 fenders are on. That one caused me a little bit of issue, but in the end, it came through. Decent fender gap. Needs to be worked a little bit, but nothing too serious. Let's go outside and find some headlights and maybe the rad support. I'm not quite sure if the rad support that I have there is correct or not. I think it might be, but we'll find out in a minute. Now the headlights I think might be in here. Pretty sure. Yep, there's one right there. There's one headlight. Here's the other one. So many parts sheds. I don't know if there's anything else in here that I need or not. I don't think so right away. There's the hood. I'll come back for that in a minute. We're out in the Cadillac parts shed, and hey, let me put those in too. Why not? And here are the headlight brackets. Well, one of them. Here's the other one. So I'm gonna need that. Relax. Stay there. Gonna need those there. That. And you two. And here is the back bumper. If I can get that out without tearing it up. There we go. I'll need that. I may get to all the cladding today, but I'm not quite sure. Maybe if I can get a little bit of double-sided sticky tape or something on there just to stick it on and see what it looks like. So I'm pretty sure this is the correct rad support. I take the Escalade headlight brackets and it just sits right down in there. So it looks to be that's correct. I'm gonna bolt it on and see what it looks like. I think the frames are the same from like right here back. So these rad support mounts here should be correct. Probably should have done all this first. Probably. Oh yeah. So with the rear mount so high, it's actually pivoting in the middle and driving that front, well, down this way. And you can see here that my fender is too low to go on to the rad support here. So I need to jack up the front there again. Not a big deal. I've got it jacked up. Now I'm just gonna bolt the rad support down and then lower the cab until the fender just sort of touches its bracket right there. I'm just gonna bolt this down loosely so that it'll stay where I tell it to. How does that look? Geez, can't get much better. Perfect. Now the only thing is I won't be able to let the cab down off the lift because it'll probably crinkle the fenders here or tear the mounts out there. So that's no fun. Maybe I'll jam a couple pieces of wood or something in there. I just kind of laid a couple pieces of wood here and just down under the frame rail there. And it seems to have worked near perfectly. I'm happy with that. Again, just a mock-up. Much better. I seem to have lost my headlight nails. You don't say that every day, do you? Let's see how it will go in. See if this is the correct headlight at all. Nope, it seems like it is anyway. There we go. LS oil pan bolts to the rescue. This has factory HID headlights. I don't like that. I saw some conversion kits on YouTube, but I'm not sure if they'll fit this thing or not. This seems right. That LS oil pan bolt is perfect. I really am starting to love this more every time I look at it. It's so cool. Just looking at this, there's a bit of a gap here and realized that there's another nail that goes sideways, or tent peg or whatever you want to call it. So I'll stuff another bolt in there too. Now for the grill, I really don't know how it connects. Doesn't seem to connect anywhere. It's funny because this is like the most minty part of the whole front clip. Usually the grills are all beat out of them or the Escalade badge is missing. Let's see. Here's the grill. Oh, wait, no. Look at this. Oh, yeah, dude, I think it'll fit. I love GM. They just make everything go click, 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 click. You can't beat it, man. Like, you go to take the dash bezel off of a Volkswagen or a Mini Cooper, and there's like 45 bolts and you need 3 years of training to do it. And GM is like, just grab it and pull. Oh my. This is so cool. Like I mentioned, bumper's not gonna fit perfectly, but I'll try it. There was about 20 pounds of ice in it, so I don't know. I might have to chip some of that away. That is some resilient snow, man. It's like 20 degrees in here. So from what I can see, this little knobby looking thing here seems to hook into this. So if anything, this should hold the bumper up, and I can like stack a few washers or something between the front mount and the tab right here on the bumper. That way I can get the gap across here correct. Grill wants to stay. Some things are one-person jobs. This is not one of those things. As you can see, I got nowhere with it. It's giving me a hard time. The Silverado bracket not matching up with the Escalade bracket. I'm gonna cut it off really quick. You can see down here that it's actually striking the bumper because it sticks out way too far. So I'm just gonna run the grinder around it here and just cut it off. It's gotta come off anyway, might as well do it now. That'll be a lot easier to fit the bumper now. Although I did say it would be easier. Then it could burst into flames. Huh. Okay. Pop a couple cab mounts in under there. Almost like it's meant to be. That's about as good as I'm gonna get it. And then we pop the grill back in. Oh my. This is This is getting better every time. Every time I touch it, it looks cooler. The only thing left to get now is the hood. Then I can start working on the back. Adding to the list of things you shouldn't do by yourself, I guess I'll put the hood on now. Oh, I hope I don't beat the glass out of this thing. I really don't want to do that. Bad enough, I'm probably going to scratch it all to pieces. Getting on. Oh no, I left the impact right there. I might have to work on the hinges a little bit, but it closes. So I got the hood to close. It seems like I'm missing a part, like right here. It closes, but it doesn't, like the gap isn't like perfect. So it seems to be something that goes click there and here. Oh, I bet that's the whole shield that goes up here. I wonder if I can find that. I don't see it, so that means it's either in the Cadillac with all the parts, or it doesn't actually exist and I just made it up in my head. I did, however, take all the cladding out because, well, why not have a look at it? Let's stand back and have our first look at Desperado. Oh boy, I'm a huge fan. I'm gonna lower it in the back, of course, because it's much higher in the back. But dude, that looks cool. Oh, I cannot wait. I am so excited. I'm so excited. I cannot wait to see what this thing is gonna look like. And especially with the all-wheel drive, like, it's just so different. Maybe not to the internet, but to me. Let's work on the back. This taillight harness is different than the Escalade harness, but I have the Escalade complete harness, so I'll just change it out when I'm ready. I actually thought that would fit. Well, that's too bad, isn't it? Wow, bit of a difference there. Okay. New plan. Put the old taillights back in it. Admitting defeat, he puts the old taillight back in. So if the taillights don't fit, will the cladding line up with the original taillight? It's not a question that I am afraid to answer. Only one way to find out. Kind of. Kind of. But also, not really. And that looks kind of dumb. I feel like I'm going to have to ditch the cladding. It would have been a cool idea. But But also, I don't know how cool it would have looked anyway. I don't know. I'll have to revisit this later. So the entire rear, I'm going to check out later. I don't really have an idea yet of what's going to happen. Worst case, I take the cladding off, which means I just take the cladding off the front fender right here, and I deal with the front bumper not lining up correctly with the fender, or I can try to kind of graft it or something to make it fit. But worst case, this comes off, the entire truck stays flat as it is. Would have been cool to have the cladding because yeah, that's not looking so hot. I will fix it, but it might not look as pretty as it could. And the cladding being like right here would have really calmed down this work that I have to do on it. And I like the way it wraps around here, but I don't like how these taillights don't fit the cladding. I'm gonna have to watch some videos. There are people who've done this before with and without the cladding. There was some guy Cass was showing me on TikTok who did exactly what I'm doing. And he used all the cladding. So I'll see if Cass can show me his videos, because I'd like to know how that works. I really would like to use all the cladding. I love the way it looked on the Escalade. And I think on the truck, it would kind of set it off, and you'd look at it and go, is that factory or is it not? And as for this here, I have half an idea. That half an idea is to cut all the way around here off of the Escalade, put it in there, weld it, which is entirely unnecessary because these corners are fine. These quarter panels or corners, whatever they're called, they're absolutely fine. So this is entirely unnecessary just to use an Escalade taillight. What do you think? Let me know. I really don't like these taillights that much. Like, they're not that nice looking. And, you know, they're all separated. Like, that's nasty. But I have them and they work. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of this whole thing, because I'm just a guy who's building a truck, and I'm interested in what you guys think too. I know Charles Williams absolutely hates it. I'm not upset. I just understand that I know. I personally absolutely love it. This is the sickest thing that I have seen in the entirety of my existence, and I'm so into it. This is the midwinter motivation that I needed to keep plugging away at this thing and get it ready, hopefully for spring. The only real two things that are holding me back from having this finished like 5 minutes ago is time and money, which I guess are the two biggest factors anyway. But if I can get like brake lines put on it and get the fuel lines, all that small knick-knacky stuff is what's going to take the most time. And I have a lot of parts, so there's not really a lot that I need to buy. I'm considering going NA driver first, get it on the move, get it on the road, and then gradually buy like a log manifold and a China intercooler and things like that, so that I can have it on the road first as I'm driving it, save up for parts for maybe a year, and then in a weekend, put the turbo on it. I think that makes a lot more sense than scabbing stuff up and making it not perfect and breaking down and parts that don't fit and having to cut stuff up. I don't want to have to do that. This truck, you can buy every nut and bolt for this truck. This shouldn't need to fabricate too much stuff. I absolutely love it. I think it's amazing. This is the coolest thing I've ever done. And I have a twin turbo 5-speed rat rod outside, so you know. Well, I'm all done for today. This is a great look at what this thing is going to be. There's a lot more to come, a whole lot more to come for anybody who would like to keep up on the build. For anybody who would like to keep up on the build and follow, I post a video every week. So there'll never be a shortage of stuff to watch. And I post like 2 or 3 shorts a day. So thanks for checking out the channel. Thanks to my YouTube members, patrons, and subscribers. If you want to check out my Patreon, it's patreon.com/stationroadratrods. My YouTube members link is down here. And thanks for watching. Have a great day, everybody.